Hey, how you doing? Listen, my name is Willie Lawson, and I'm a candidate for county commission here in Hillsborough County. This is part two of a video series I'm doing to sort of demystify the new voting law changes, because I believe it's important that we all understand. We all understand what we're dealing with these law changes, and more importantly, how we are going to participate fully moving forward. Because you know what? Frankly, I'll tell you, it won't matter what changes they make if we choose not to participate. And that's just the truth, isn't it? So what we're going to do here is we're going to find out what the changes are, and then we're going to make sure that everyone, especially in District 3, which is where I'm campaigning, but or indeed anywhere in the state, understands what they have to do. My advice to anyone, to everyone, is to make sure that whatever changes you need to make, try to make them now. Try to make them now. Communicate with the voter registration offices in your county, or here in Hillsborough County. Go to votehillsborough.org. That's www.votehillsborough.org. The document that I'm reading from and every bit of other information is going to be there, and you can make sure that you are all set up to cast your ballot whenever there's an opportunity to do so. All right, listen, we're going to get to an important part of the puzzle now. These are the changes that are in the voter registration record. Okay, and this is the most contentious part. So we're going to focus in a little bit. The address changes. The new law gives registered voters who move from county to county the same options for updating their addresses other than by voter registration application. Okay. For example, you can do it in person, you can do it by phone, you can do it by mail or by email or by fax. The only way you can't do it right now is by carrier pigeon. Okay, that was a joke. Didn't go too well, huh? Okay. Or by written signed notice, provided the change is made directly to the supervisor of elections in the county of the new residence. Otherwise, the voter still has to submit the address change by voter registration application. So here's the deal. Let's say you move from Polk County to Hillsborough County, and you need to make that change. Now, you might live in Congressional District 12 in both Hillsborough and Polk. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that you get with the folks in Hillsborough, and you can do it a number of ways. Again, you can go by the supervisor elections office. There's one downtown, and there's one over on Falkenberg. Or you can call them up, or you can write them a letter, or you can send them an email, or you can send them a fax, or you get what I'm saying? Everywhere except by carrier pigeon. That's exactly right. Okay, to make the change. Okay, otherwise you still have to go through the whole deal about re-registering. You say going and filling out the voter registration information again. All right, you understand? Because that's a really big point of contention. All right, second part: address changes at the polls. The new law allows only the following voters to change their addresses at the polls on Election Day and still vote on a regular ballot. Now, before I get into the particulars, we've had a system that some people are able to change their address and then vote in that election on a regular ballot. Well, that's going to come to an end. Okay, so if you've done that before, or if you know someone else who's done that, please get them to this video. Please get them to this help. Do this sooner than later. Please. That way they can make sure that they're voting at the right precinct, and their vote is going to count on a regular ballot. You know, the biggest part about any changes, and you've all participated in groups and organizations that have made changes. Somebody doesn't get the word, and it's always a problem. So it's important that we get this word out, that we make sure that everybody knows. Okay, here's the idea with address changes at the polls. The new law says this. It allows only the following voters to change their address at the polls on election day and still vote on a regular ballot. First, those voting in the same county in which they were originally registered to vote. Okay? Those people who are voting in the same county in which they originally registered to vote. So, here's the deal. If you are living, and this is in Hillsborough County, this is going to be the same anywhere where you live. If you're living, say, in South Tampa, and now you've moved to New Tampa, you are still in the same county. Thus, according to what's written here in this summary, you will still be allowed to vote, okay, and change. I mean, on a regular ballot, and change your address on election day. Okay, again, those voting in the same county in which they originally registered to vote may still change their address at the polls on election day. Two, the second type of people that the new law allows you to change your address on election day are if you are an active military member or in the same family with an active military member. Okay? You may change your address on election day and vote on a regular ballot. Other electors, that means voters, making county to county address changes, like the example I gave you before from Polk County to Hillsborough, at the polls, you are going to be required to vote on a provisional ballot. Okay? The same legal standard as counting the provisional ballot still applies. For example, count the ballot unless it is more likely than not that the voter is not entitled to vote. Okay? The voter is, and those examples are they're not registered, the ballot was cast in the wrong precinct, the voter already voted, or is evidence of actual fraud. All right? Now, every vote will be counted. Now, provisional voting, we don't like that, because we want to vote on a regular ballot, and you want to vote on a regular ballot if you go to the voting place, you want to vote on a regular ballot. So make sure, again, all your records are updated. Understand this, because this is important, because this is a big bone of contention. We're probably gonna stop here and address the rest of voter registration in a video coming up in a little bit. But this is very, very important, and I'm going to concentrate on this really, really hard. Here's the deal: address changes at the poll on election day and still vote on a regular ballot are only to two types of people: those voting in the same county in which they originally registered to vote, okay, or active military members, or members of the same family of the active military. Now, here's what happens. If you are attending Florida State University, well, you're really cool, because so did I, and you want to vote in the election. You can do what we did. We got in my friend's VW bus. Seriously, VW bus. Pedal to the metal, 55 miles an hour. But it was downhill from Tallahassee to Tampa, so it wasn't too bad. And we voted, and then we turned around and went back. Or you can, in Leon County, vote on a provisional ballot. Because the idea is to make sure, like again we said in the past video, to make sure that we eliminate any opportunity for voter fraud. These votes, and again, in November of 2012, we'll be either electing or re-electing a president, senators, county commissioners. And our vote is the most important thing. And we have to make sure that the process is fair and that all understand, which is why I'm doing this video series. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to go to www.votehillsborough.org. And you can call them, and they'll be happy to explain anything you need and make sure that you have all the information, all the paperwork you need. My advice to you is don't wait. Do it now. Do it now. Alrighty. Well, thanks again. We'll be back in a little bit with more of an explanation of the Florida new voting laws and some of the things that we really need to concentrate on. If you want to know more about my campaign, just go to www.votelawson2012.com. That's www.votelawson2012.com. Until I see you again, Thank you so much.